Good morning. So, recently 1.10.11.0, whatever the updated version is, just launched, and they said that they made some adjustments to the input curve. So, alright, so let's check out sensitivity. Looks like it kept my curve for once. That's actually kind of surprising. Usually it goes away, so that's 50. Oops, let's look at all collapse. I just want to make sure that before we jump in here, I don't have to once again redo this. Nope, I don't. That is good. That just means that we are functioning. Alright, so I'm going to do basically a repeat of what I've done recently. Where's Fort Worth? I know Alliance is around here somewhere. Why am I unable to find it? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. Alright, so we are going to depart from the longer runway. Yeah, we'll be fine on the short one. Set as departure. I then want to come over here to Addison. We are going to come in from the north again, simply because I'm going to have to fly around that building. I want to come... Actually, I want to switch this over to low altitude airways. I want to add the stadium in there. I want to approach on ILS for 15. So we'll come right by DFW Airport again and then loop back around and in. This is the same flight that I did previously. And I want to see what changes. They said they balanced the curve for different inputs. Now, if that means that they actually did that and my inputs can actually work now, then I'll be quite pleased. But I'm not going to get my hopes up. Let's come in here to well, the weather's going to screw up for me anyway. So let's jump in real quick and see how this progresses, how this changed, and how this handles. My last flights were a little rough. I think I've got a better handle on the plane now, so maybe we can make it down without crashing, and I just need to keep my nose on the ground and hit the brakes and the thrust reversers. So, actually, I don't know if this plane has thrust reversers. I think it does. Let's see what happens. Alright.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra and runway 16 left ready for takeoff IFR to Addison.
Load times are still annoying. Let's get in here. Alright, I don't remember because I forgot to check. My VFR map is loading. And frozen. Good to see they haven't fixed that yet. Okay, helpful or not. Alright, so what I want to do first is I want to turn on nav, because I'm on FMS. I want to turn on altitude. Let's dial this thing up to, I don't know where it's going to put me, I'm just going to say 4,000. And then let's turn vertical speed. I don't need to go up super fast here. I think we'll try to do this nice and smooth. Bank control I don't think needs to be on. We'll see what the oscillations do once we get moving. I think we're good. We can go ahead and get rolling, so let's throttle up. That thrust hit. Okay. Actually, did I not mess with the weather? Awesome. Okay, we're coming nose up. Wow, it just takes so much, like a beating. I have no idea what it's doing. This is just insane. So I quickly loaded the weather. It popped up on my other screen, and you can see that I turned everything down almost immediately so it wouldn't be totally broken, but the plane still pitched ridiculously hard, and you can see it's rolling just absurdly with the wind or with trying to stay on track. So wow. That is just ridiculous. And I still can't use my nav map, so I'm just going to close it because it's worthless to me, which is quite depressing and sad. Alright, so my flight controls are still set at the same level that they were previously, at the minus 50 on the main controls, so I haven't adjusted that in any way. Ooh, I need to throttle back farther. I don't know what the wind was doing. I don't know what anything was doing that just nailed the plane so hard that caused it to do this oscillation. My throttle is pretty low. I didn't throttle back as much as I was supposed to, but I did throttle back recently. You could see the oscillation stabilized a bit, and not the oscillation, the roll oscillation stabilized a bit, but then it still does this jerky maneuver where it's not smooth, so obviously that's still not fixed. You can see the plane just pitches and rolls and pitches and rolls. Alright, there's the stadium out in front of me. We should be fine. My speed is coming down nicely to a more stable level. What's my percentage of? 27%. Let's go up to 28. Yeah, 28%. That should hold us just fine. I'm going to let this thing fly closer to the glide path, and we will see kind of how things go when we get there, but it doesn't feel like I have any control. The wind was still ridiculous. The plane still pitched like I lost lift under a wing, and then like I gained a ton of lift under the other wing and flipped the opposite direction. Still jerks around, so I don't think they've made any fixes here. The map is still broken. These guys have no clue what they're doing, in my opinion. So I'm going to shut up, fast forward to the actual approach portion, and we'll see how it goes.
X-ray Golf Sierra, you were 17 miles northwest of Addison. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Contact Addison Tower on 126.0. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Tower on 126.0 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Addison Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra 17 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 15 approach.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Addison Tower. Cleared ILS runway 15 approach. Altimeter 29.92 wind calm.
Cleared ILS runway 15 approach Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Alright, well, we are almost on approach. You can see the system has picked up the localizer for the approach system. Once we're locked in here, when we pass Banu waypoint, it should switch over. Looks like I just saw the nav. Yep, just got it. So we can now use the approach system to get lined up, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Wow, this is just absurd. Fire up the flight director. And I'm going to hit the approach system. You can see how immediately it kind of stabilizes when it switches systems. That is so bizarre. And then it goes nuts. Alright, so there's Addison dead ahead. We are on our way. Okay, one thing we need to get ready for. I'm going to drop the first set of flaps. I may try this one with full flaps. I don't know. I think I did better without full flaps. I have one more extension that I can easily do.
Landing here. Landing here.
And I think I will do that. Okay, we are way off target here. This system is not even aiming me. Okay, my speed has dropped down to 172. We are coming in. Okay, I wish I knew why the plane was bouncing around so much.
Clear to land runway 15. Wind calm.
You say wind calm, but it's like I'm being tossed around like a sack of potatoes out here. Okay, I need to put some speed back into this thing. We're coming in very slow. There's my approach dot coming in, so I would hope that it starts lowering my altitude soon. There it goes. Good. Bring me back on the glide slope. Means I can throttle back down a bit. I'm going to go to, well, if I could get it to feather, 38%. I think what I may try this time is not, I don't know if I'm going to cut autopilot off. Wow, this thing is just rocking like nuts. Absolutely insane. So we're at 34% throttle right now, aimed down. I need to fly around that building, so what I think might behoove me. Please stabilize yourself, plane. Why are you? No, stop. Stop. Alright, I'm going to leave autopilot on, but I'm just going to try to fly it around the building here. I'm hopeful that this will keep me a little level. You could see I fought the turn there to try and angle around the building here. And there it kind of cut me off a little bit. And see, it's just like I'm randomly losing lift under a wing again for no reason. Come on. There it goes. So that seemed to work out a bit better. Not perfect, but definitely better than it had been. I felt much more in control, and I think that's because I let autopilot maintain. Oh, why not? We'll just drive over the grass. Bump, bump, bump.
121.6.
Alright, so I think...
121.6 for Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Wow, this thing has a garbage turning radius. So I think part of my success on that was that I left autopilot on the whole time. I didn't actually turn it off. And see, it's still technically running. Approach is what shut down when I got too close, and I think you could see that as instead of autopilot gently guiding me back after I went around the building, it sort of cut off and the wing lost lift. But I maintained more stability coming in closer and longer, I believe, as a result of what I did by leaving it on. Whereas last time I kind of turned it off. Wind, it says calm. You can see on the map there. I believe that's the wind. It doesn't really show anything happening, but see, it just bounces all over the place as if there's still wind. And I think that's why the plane gets rocked sometimes, where things are happening that really shouldn't be happening, and it's just crazy. So overall, I think that was an improvement. I don't really feel like the changes to the sensitivity curve really made much of a difference. They may have. It didn't feel like the plane lost as much lift, and I think that's really what the problem just comes down to. When I get near to the ground, the fake wind that's not on is on, and I just feel like the wings either suddenly generate too much lift or lose lift under one versus the other, causing that hard drop on one side and then the hard compensation to the other, or one wing will just blast off to one side. I think that's still the largest problem, but this felt a little better. I was able to actually bring the plane down. I had the right speed. I was able to do it more correctly. So I think it's still progress. There's still so many broken things that I think these guys are jokers and have no clue how to patch and fix these things at all, unfortunately. But I am pleased to say that I was able to land the plane. It wasn't a great landing, but I didn't bounce around too much. The nose came down smoothly this time. It didn't go back airborne because I was slow enough when I hit the ground. I had a slight delay in getting the thrust reversers to kick on for some reason, and then I managed to do decently. So overall, not too bad. It's an improvement. We'll see what happens. I'd like to do some other flights, but if they keep doing patching, I'd like to keep highlighting these problems because I'm a casual gamer, and for those of us that are just trying to leisurely enjoy some flight, this is not a good experience still. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.